Hello and welcome. I've had a couple of conversations with some Reiki students just over the last couple of days, and the same thing seems to be repeating. So it came to my attention, obviously, that it's something that maybe isn't as well known or isn't well thought of. So I thought I'd just come on. I've never tried the live stream on YouTube before, so I thought I'd come on and do a wee chat with you about it. So I'm just going to flip the screen round now. There we go. Didn't like that too much for a second. Right, so the conversation I've been having is where there has been a particular event happening in the person's life, and they didn't know or they never thought to send Reiki to the situation. So one of the ways in which you can do this is here, for example, is if somebody was looking for a new job. So I've just written down on a piece of paper, it's just a bog standard piece of paper, nothing special. There's no magic words you need to say. So I've just written down, the person's looking for a new job. So may I receive the work I am looking for? If it matches my greatest and highest good, I ask that the process goes as smoothly as possible and I find the confidence required. So if there's an interview or something that you've got, the whole process just goes nice and smoothly and there's no stress involved. I've just finished it off with, and so it is, and thank you. So what I would do with that now is I'd fold it over. And because I'm a crystal healer and because I love my crystals, I've picked a rose quartz and a piece of amethyst there. And what I would do is I'd open my Reiki prayer just like I would if I was doing self-healing or if I was working with a client. And then I would specifically ask for the healing to be sent to the situation. So I'd either place one hand or both hands over the top of it. If you're a Reiki 2 student or a master and you have some symbols you'd like to draw on it, you're more than welcome to do that. But basically, sit in your power, giving the piece of paper Reiki. What you're actually doing is you're not giving the paper Reiki, but you're sending the intention out that the Reiki's been sent to the situation that you're asking for. So like I say, it can be for a new job, it can be for, to meet your soulmate, it can be so that if somebody's sick, a bit like distant healing, maybe they've got an appointment coming up and you want it to go as well as possible, which doesn't mean that they will be as well as possible, but that, firstly, the doctors on form or whoever's doing the assessment, they're having a good day and everything, they read the equipment correctly, that the test results actually show whatever it is that's wrong with the person so that they get a clear answer. And then obviously, once they know what's wrong with the person, so that the treatment is the best possible treatment that suits that particular person. So you need to be specific in what you write down on the piece of paper because you need to be clear about what it is that you want. But you also don't want to limit the energy. So be specifically vague. You want to not limit because the more kind of restraint you put on it, the more chances are that you're restricting how much the energy can do for you. But obviously you can't be too general, you need to be specific. And you'll have noticed in the paper I've written down if it's for your greatest and highest good. And that's basically because sometimes we think we know what we want. We might want a job, a promotion in work and think that, the extra money, the extra responsibility, maybe the change in environment, maybe you move to a new building or a new office, we might think that it's a better situation when in actual fact, when we go into that situation, we find that it's not the job we thought we wanted, or we're not doing the things that we loved about our previous job, or it's just not really what's right for you. So basically you add in for your greatest and highest good because you don't want to be stuck in a job that you don't want. So the idea is that by adding that in there, if it's not for you, you've also asked that it's the best and easiest process. So hopefully the band-aid will be pulled off quickly then. So you'll maybe not get called for an interview, or it'll be obvious to you from the interview that it's not the right job for you. So that's what I kind of mean when I say, don't restrict it too much. So another way you can do this, if you aren't Reiki trained, or just another way that you can do it, is, and I've got a wee card here, which is the inspiration for what I'm about to show you. It comes from the Angel Therapy Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And this is one of the cards. And what basically happened was this card fell out of the deck on me. And for those of you that read cards, you know that if a card jumps out, there's a significant message in that for you. So this fell out and I read it and I thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So it basically says that a God box is where you get a box and you write in paper, you put your prayers, whatever they might be, onto the paper, and then you put them inside this box. And by writing them down, you're giving them off, you're releasing them up to God, or you're releasing it to the angels, or you're releasing it to whatever system, whatever kind of higher power system that you follow. So then that's it. You've let it go. So I received this card. It fell out on the floor. I thought, yeah, that's fantastic. And about half an hour later, I drove to a lovely lady's house. Now, unfortunately, she's passed a spirit at this stage. But she presented me with this box. And quite appropriately, it has kind of a Day of the Dead style covering on the top of it. Because obviously, for those of you that don't know, at the time I was running a spiritualist church. So the lid opens up and you can put your wee prayers inside. So if you didn't want to use the crystals, you can just pop that in there and then close it over. So you can include in that whatever it is that you want. If there's abundance that you're looking for, if there's skills that you're looking for, if there's some area you want to develop in, whatever it is that you're looking for, just pop it in. Or even if you want to send a prayer out to somebody, if somebody's not well or they're not feeling particularly great, and you're maybe not sure how to send it, you don't know how to send it Reiki, you don't do spiritual healing or anything like that. So you can just send up the thought and say, right, okay, I'd like this person to receive healing from it. I'd like the person to receive whatever it is that you're asking for. Now, this is a lovely fancy box and I think it's fantastic, but we also have an alternative here. You don't have to go to any great expense for this. I actually think this box was, I'm not sure if it was Instant Smash or if it was, although looking at the inside, I think it was actually Coffee Mate that was in it originally. And I love this paper. It's beautiful holographic self-adhesive paper that I got out of the pound shop for £1 and I had a pile of it left over. But I just thought that was very pretty. So, that's as good a God box as this other box here. So if that's something that you'd like to do, why not pick up a container that you've finished using? You don't have to go out and buy a fancy box for it, or maybe you'd like to buy a fancy box for it, but I think when you put your own touch onto something, you're putting your energy into it, so that then has more meaning than if you just go out and buy an expensive box that looks fancy. But then again, sometimes the box can have significant meaning for you too. Yeah, so that's basically all I wanted to talk about. If there's a situation in your life which hasn't happened yet and you would like to send Reiki to it, then that's one way you can do it. So essentially you're sending the Reiki in the future, you're sending it to the situation that hasn't happened yet. But you're also equally, what you can do is you can send Reiki to the past. So if there's a situation, especially specifically in your own life, I think we, as healers, we always think about other people and we always want to help other people, and we sometimes forget about ourselves. And one of the most important things, especially with Reiki 1, is learning to self-heal first, because as the saying goes, you can't give from an empty vessel. So one of the things you can do, and this is really good if you're coming up to an attunement, so if you're maybe going for your Reiki 2 or you're going for your Masters, is to think about a situation in your past where either you hurt somebody or where somebody hurt you, or a situation which just didn't feel very nice, and maybe gives you an icky feeling about it. So you could write down that situation on the piece of paper, just like I've done there. And again, ask for it to be released, ask for healing to be sent to you and anybody else that's involved. or it may be a situation within your vibration. So it may be a situation that wasn't, you weren't directly responsible for, but you experienced because you're in around the people that were involved in the situation. So you can write that down on the piece of paper, and again, send it Reiki, or put it in the box and let it go. Now, if you're sending the Reiki, what I would do for either the past or the future is I would keep it somewhere personal, keep it somewhere private. So in a drawer, keep it. If you've got an altar, that's a perfect place for it. If you don't have an altar, you can stick it under your pillow. You can stick it beside your bed, and every day give it even just 5 minutes worth of Reiki. But you're sending up that thought. You're what's the word? No, the word's gone. It escapes me. You're basically, saying every day that yes, you're confirming every day that that's actually what you want to do and what you want to send out. Sorry, I get slightly distracted. There was a little robin landed on the wall just outside, which is always a lovely sign that what you're saying is appropriate. Yeah, so just every night, every morning, whenever it fits in, just spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Put your hands on the piece of paper. You can hold them between your two hands in the prayer position. Whatever feels right in the pit of your stomach is what you're meant to do. So just send out your Reiki into the piece of paper, out to the situation, and that will help you heal the past of yourself. And you can also do that for the past of others. So if you're a Reiki 2 and you're taking in clients, and you come across a situation from that client's past, you can also send Reiki healing to their past, either by visualizing it, or like I've just shown you on the writing a little couple of lines. It doesn't have to be any great detail. A couple of lines just saying, setting your intention, putting it out there what it is that you want to send healing to. And again, you can put it in the box, you can put it under your pillow, but just make sure to send a wee thought to it on a daily basis, and just give it all the energy that you can give it, or channel all the energy that you can channel, to give the situation the best possible chance and the best possible outcome. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a fabulous day or evening or night, depending on what part of the world you're in. And I wish you all the best. Reiki blessings.